The air hung heavy with the stench of death. A grim discovery, a tragedy revealed. Deep within the abandoned Buffelsfontein Gold Mine, a humanitarian crisis had been unfolding. Hundreds of illegal miners, known as zama-zamas, lay dead. They were victims of a calculated strategy by the South African authorities to combat illegal mining. The Buffelsfontein Mine, once a symbol of prosperity, had become a tomb. It stood as a stark reminder of the desperate measures people take for survival. News of the tragedy sent shockwaves across South Africa and the world. The Buffelsfontein tragedy demanded answers and justice for the dead. Deep underground, in the labyrinthine tunnels of the Buffelsfontein Mine, the miners faced a living hell. The air was thick with humidity and the stench of sweat. The darkness was all-encompassing, broken only by the flickering lights of their headlamps. These men, many of them undocumented migrants, toiled in perilous conditions. They were driven by the hope of finding enough gold to survive. Their existence was precarious. The threat of collapse was ever present. But it was the hunger that gnawed at their insides, the thirst that parched their throats. Food and water were scarce, passed down through a network of ropes and pulleys, a lifeline to the surface world. Then, that lifeline was severed. As part of Operation Close the Hole, a government initiative to shut down illegal mining, the authorities took a drastic step. They cut off the supplies. The miners were trapped, left to wither away in the darkness. The government's response was swift. But it was not a response of compassion, it was a response of calculated cruelty. The authorities argued that the miners were criminals, trespassing on private property. They claimed that the miners had other ways out of the mine, that they were choosing to stay underground out of fear of arrest. Cabinet Minister Kumbutso Ntshavheni's words echoed the government's stance. Criminals are not to be helped. Her words sent a chill through the nation. They revealed a callous disregard for human life. For months, the miners languished below. Their cries for help were met with silence. The world remained largely unaware of their plight. The rescue operation, when it finally came, was too little, too late. The images that emerged from the Buffelsfontein Mine were harrowing. Emaciated bodies, their eyes vacant, bore witness to the suffering endured. The death toll soared, a grim testament to the human cost of this tragedy. The Buffelsfontein disaster exposed the deep flaws in South Africa's approach to illegal mining. It highlighted the desperation that drives people to such dangerous work. It revealed the ethical bankruptcy of a system that would allow human beings to be used as pawns in a political game. This tragedy must serve as a wake-up call. It is a call for a more humane and comprehensive approach to illegal mining. An approach that addresses the root causes of poverty and inequality. An approach that prioritizes human life over political expediency. The miners of Buffelsfontein may have died in darkness, but their deaths must illuminate a path to a brighter future. A future where every life is valued and protected. A future where such tragedies are never allowed to happen again.